In exactly 2 minutes, you go around the corner into the Cafe 80s.
Oh, Cafe 80s.
It's one of those nostalgia places, but not done very well. Go in and order a Pepsi. Here's a 50. Then wait for a guy named Griff.
Right, Griff.
Right. Griff's gonna ask you about tonight. Are you in or out? Tell him you are out. Whatever he says, whatever happens, say no, you're not interested.
Okay.
Then leave, come back here and wait for me. Don't talk to anyone. Don't touch anything. Don't do anything. Don't interact with anyone. And try not to look at anything.
I don't get it. I thought you said this had something to do with my kids.
Look what happens to your son.
My son? God, he looks just like me. Within 2 hours of his arrest, Martin McFly Jr. was tried, convicted, and sentenced to 15 years in the state penitentiary? Within 2 hours?
The justice system works swiftly in the future now that they've abolished all lawyers.
Dearest Mother, you're probably surprised to hear back from me so quickly. Well, imagine my surprise when I found out you were sharing my letters with one of the old neighborhood boys who used to live across the street from us. Makes me wonder, what else have you shared with the neighbors? How many half-siblings do I have out there? I guess that explains that rapid weight gain you'd have every 9 months or so. I just assumed it was attributed to one of your many, many addictions. And I guess, in a sense, maybe it was. I never quite understood why Father used to refer to you as the neighborhood bicycle, but now it's all starting to make sense. But you know what doesn't make sense? What this has to do with Back to the Future Part 2. Not much, really, but I am on day 3 of my month-long journey. Not unlike that month-long journey I had when you once made me sleep in the shed. I still can't fall asleep without the smell of an open paint can near my head. Anywho, I am going to continue talking about my favorite movie trilogy. And sure, the middle movie may not be as good as the first or the third, but with movies, much like with Neighborhood Boys, sometimes the middle one is fine. Anywho, hugs and kisses, love always. Tell Dad I said sup. Your son, Michael. March 3rd, 2026. Marchy McFly, Marchy McFly. Year 6 of Marchy McFly. Ready or not. Year 6 of Marchy McFly. I'm back, great Scott.
It's year 6.
31 straight days for you.
In year 6.
It's Back to the Future Part 2.
Every day.
Gonna have a little talk of Marty and Doc. Marty and Doc. Marty and Doc. Marty and Doc. Marty and Doc.
Bing, bang, boom. Bada bing, bang, bing, boom. Bada boop, beep, beep, bop, boop. Bop, biddy, boo. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy March 3rd. Happy day 3 of Marchy McFly 6. And yes, today we are talking about the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds of Back to the Future Part 2. We will be going from minutes 6:40 to 10 minutes. We are already 10 minutes into this film. And I'm coming to you on Tuesday night again. In fact, it is 8:59 as I speak these words right now. And the reason for that is because more friggin' snow. A week ago at this time, there was a blizzard here in Massachusetts. But guess who wasn't in Massachusetts? My wife and I. We were visiting her mom in Florida. And it wasn't a hot week in Florida. It actually was, it was pleasant and even a little chilly. But, I mean, it wasn't New England weather. And I think on Tuesday night at this time, I was sitting outside reading my book, just having a wonderful, quiet evening. And tonight, at the very same time, I'm shoveling snow and using an electric shovel and a regular shovel and then the frozen rain, and then there's my tears. I mean, it was just a mixture of winter that I need to end. We're in March. Marchy McFly. When this is done, we're into April, so I feel like the winter, like you're gonna come with us, everyone in the Northeast and anyone who's celebrating, going through winter. You will be going through it during Marchy McFly, and hopefully by the end, it's all done. Like yes, we've had snow in April, but all the snow that's out there, like up to my knee in my yard, has to be melted, right? We're getting melting like next week, I think, but we're also getting more snow this week. So again, it teases you, and it makes me want to punch any snowman. Like, what isn't that song? Have you seen a snowman? I want to beat the shit out of a snowman if I have the chance. If I have the chance, I will beat up a snowman. I just haven't had the chance. But what I do have the chance to is to talk more Back to the Future to Part 2 to each and every one of you, and yes, even you. And even though, I'm focusing my episodes on just on these 3 minutes and 20 seconds, every so often I just like to type in Back to the Future into Google News to see if there's anything new, anything that's that just that pops up, or any news, anything to do with Back to the Future that pops up. I like to just see because sometimes things happen in March. Like things happen in August that just have to do with Jaws. Sometimes the stars just align, and you'll see something that's popped in the news within the last few days that has to do with Back to the Future.
An actor from Back to the Future, Crispin Glover, now being sued for allegedly holding a woman captive. Her lawsuit accuses him of grooming her and luring her to his house in 2024. There are also accusations of assault. You know what?
But sometimes it's just good. It's better not to look at the news and just, if you do see a headline, just look away. Just look away. And you know what? This actor isn't even in this movie unless you count one moment where they used footage from the previous film. So maybe it's not good to always look in Google News. I did see, it was cool to see Michael J. Fox made an appearance at the Actor Awards, and that he's been working recently in that Apple TV plus show Shrinking, which I've never seen, but I've heard really good things about. So those are the things I'd like to focus on as far as Back to the Future in the news. Not that other thing that my brother texted it to me the other day, and I was like, well, I mean, okay, Marchy McFly, I guess we're going to have to talk about it. You know what? We're not going to have to talk about it, but I will let that sit there and speak for itself. And maybe, as much as I want to compliment this person and his acting in the original film, it's probably better off that they distance themselves from this man. It seems like it's better off if everyone distances themselves from this dude. So let's get to the actual clip, the actual 3 minutes and 20 seconds from today. The DeLorean, makes the landing, and Marty previously made a comment about the rain. Doc said, wait 5 seconds, and boom, the rain clears up. The sun is out. I don't know, what that has to do with the future. Okay, I can see the rain stopping, but the sun came out so quickly that it almost made it seem like the weather changes quicker in the future. which probably does. I guess, weather does change. It's crazier now, I think, than it used to be. So that kind of makes sense. We see a sign in the background. There's all this looks like the back of a warehouse or manufacturing or like all this metal, like, I don't know if you'd call them radiators, something that looks like it's part of a building maintenance. I don't know, but it says Fusion Industries, and Fusion Industries is the Mr. Fusion. That's what Doc has on the back of the DeLorean. Instead of using plutonium, he gets to use trash. Doc makes a comment about, too bad the post office isn't as efficient as the weather service. I don't know what that, like, something up with the mail in the future. But I do like, there's one thing that's kind of cool in the background is you see all these laser discs. I don't know if it's laser discs and CDs. Yeah, it is. It's laser discs and CDs just kind of compacted, almost like it's just garbage. And I think that was, in a way, saying, old media is not, used anymore. And I mean, you could still buy CDs today. Like if you want an album from someone and you want physical media, you can actually still buy pretty much, like, cassettes have nostalgically come back. Vinyl's always been, a kind of a music connoisseur's way of enjoying music. And CDs, you can still buy CDs. I'm trying to think. The last actual CD I bought was probably an Iron Maiden CD from a few years ago, and I don't even have a CD player. I think I just burned it just because I wanted the physical copy. And as much as I do love the idea of physical media, I don't have the room for it. The only physical media I have now at all, well, I have like a binder of old DVDs that I could play on my computer when I plug in an external drive, but I don't even have a DVD player hooked up to my computer. I do still have books, but even when I read those, for the most part, I then donate them to a little library. So I think this was a kind of a clever. I think this was a clever way of kind of quietly saying, physical media like this is going to be going away, and look at all the stuff that we cherish now is a thing of the past, I think. So right after that is we get the big reveal, or what Doc Brown thought was going to be a big reveal. He says, excuse for the disguise, Marty, the disguise, but I was afraid you wouldn't recognize me. I went to a rejuvenation clinic and got an all-natural overhaul. They took out some wrinkles, did a hair repair, changed the blood, added a good 30 to 40 years to my life. And he takes off, he looks like he's about to take off this plastic mask, which he kind of does, and he looks pretty much exactly the same. And Marty's like, "Oh, you look great, Doc." But what I love is, in Back to the Future, originally in '85, we're seeing an older version of Doc Brown. They just do enough to make his hair whiter and give him some wrinkles. You see it around the neck, you see it around the face, so that when they take that old makeup off, he does appear older, 30 years older in 1955. Well, I feel like this is a fun way of saying we don't want to deal with this makeup anymore. Let's get rid of this makeup now. Let's make the Doc that we have now, quote unquote, 30 to 40 years younger, because it added a good 30 to 40 years to his life. Let's just make it so Christopher Lloyd just has to put the wig on. Can we just do that, please? They also replaced his spleen and colon. I loved all of that. And that was just a fun, and that is a great gag, because he takes the mask off and he like, ta-da, it's me. And it's a gif. It's been memed, like Christopher Lloyd's, just his little reaction. And I just love Marty's like, yeah, you look great, Doc. You look great. So then Marty's like, oh, the future. I got to check this out. Doc says, all in good time, Marty, but we're on a tight schedule. No, not all in good time, because a few minutes later, you're like, don't talk to anybody, don't look at anybody. Well, that's when I guess he's supposed to be the younger version of himself. But Doc, Marty's like, I'm like a rich rock star, right? And it's kind of weird, because Doc says no one should know too much about their destiny, except for the fact that we're having you basically pretend to be your son. So now you have a son. Here's a photo of your son, because in a few minutes we see the reason they're there, and the big something has to be done about your kids. this is what has to be done about the kids. So he gives actually, there's a cool effect, and I wonder how they did this. Again, this is 1989. This can't be a digital effect. I mean, I guess it could be, but he has this this Nike footwear. It's like a tube, and he goes to open it, like he turns a dial, and the side of the tube is like opaque, almost like fancy windows where you can make the window opaque, and then you can make it clear. I thought that was like something current. Maybe it wasn't, but he turns it, and inside the opaqueness goes away and it becomes a little clearer. And I thought, did they do something with steam and then turn the steam off? Like, is there a hose? I'm probably overthinking it, but this is where we get Marty in the first one with the vest, the quote unquote life preserver. That is an iconic look, but this look in Back to the Future 2 is probably it is a second. I don't know if it's a close second. It's more iconic than any of the Western stuff because of the Western stuff that Marty wears, except when he looks silly, like when Doc dresses him as Clint Eastwood early on. Not as Clint Eastwood, but he dresses almost like Roy Rogers or something. But that's still more generic cowboy look. That's still a more generic cowboy look. Whereas this, the jacket, the size, like the size fitting jacket, which Marty Jr. can't figure out, and the Nike adjusting, auto laces, those sneakers became fairly iconic, especially when 2015 came around and Nike was putting them out, and it was just like it became kind of a very like movie memorabilia, getting those shoes and getting that jacket. If I saw that, I know exactly what it was. If I saw someone dressed as a cowboy, I wouldn't necessarily know it's Marty from Part 3, but Part 1's look, and I definitely know Part 2's look. And I saw a lot of people dressed as the Part 1 look when I went to the musical with Eric over the summer. Like, I was surprised how many people were dressed up, and I was like, oh, I should have dressed up. I have nothing to dress up. I don't look anything like Marty McFly. I don't know if it would have worked, but doesn't mean I wouldn't want to do that. So Doc runs off with, and he's got his fancy his future binoculars, and he seems to just want to check out women. It's weird. Like, the display shows distance 5.526, R 35.5. Like, this is just a bunch of gobbledygook. XYZ. I don't know what any of this stuff means, but it says, and he seems to be focusing on these women in tight dresses, and so is Marty Jr. He's looking for Marty Jr. That's what he keeps looking for, but he keeps following the women, but then following Marty. We see a payphone, 2015. That's one thing that didn't last in the future. There ain't no payphones in 2015, or I shouldn't say there are none. There are very few payphones in 2015, in the real 2015. If this was 2015 future, there'd be no payphones. Like, that's the one thing that they didn't hit. They didn't hit personal communication devices that everyone has by 2015. So Doc runs back. Marty, has the power laces on, has the Nikes on. The jacket doesn't fit, but Doc very quickly hits size adjusting, tells him to pull his pockets out because all their kids wear their pants inside out. To me, that's still that. I was like, okay, it's close, but it's still not inside out. I guess if you glanced, it would look like it is, but not quite. Like, you just look like you have your pockets out. And then he says, he has the hat, which I think, I don't know if I'd wear that hat. But yeah, okay, I'd wear that hat. Probably. He says, perfect, you're the spitting image of your son. And then the worst possible thing happens. He says, help me move Jennifer over here. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest, ridiculous, unnecessary, doesn't make any sense to me why they took Jennifer out of the car. Think about it. I know I'm looking ahead already, and I don't want to look ahead, but what we know is coming, and I won't get into detail, what we know is coming, there is no reason I can think of, and maybe it will change, but as of right now, there is no reason I can think of why Jennifer needed to be taken out of the car. And if she wasn't taken out of the car, the rest of the movie would not need to happen. So everything that happens, that the good, the bad, whatever it is, the reasons to go back, here, there, everywhere, is all because they took Jennifer out of the car. And I will keep harping on that for the remainder of this month. Just leave her in the car. She's asleep. She's passed out. There's no reason for this, for her to be out of the car. Marty doesn't say, why are we taking her out of the car? Nobody says it. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it never will make sense to me. So then Doc tells him, go over to the Cafe 80s, and I'm looking forward to go to the Cafe 80s. There's going to be some stuff in the news that the Cafe 80s is going to touch on. Be interested to get there. Is it tomorrow? I think it will be tomorrow. And what I do like is when he goes, go in and order a Pepsi. Here's a 50. And I think that's a joke saying that's how much you'll need to buy a Pepsi in 2015. And then he says, wait for a guy named Griff. Griff's going to ask you, to do something. Whatever you say, whatever he tells you, you're out no matter what. So basically, obviously Marty Jr. does something that gets him in trouble. And they're having Marty Sr. go in and, pretend to be the junior and say, that's it. You're done. He goes, you're not doing it. You're not interested. Then you leave. You come back. Don't talk to anyone. Don't touch anything. Don't do anything. Don't interact with anyone, and try not to look at anything. Yet 5 seconds ago, he says all in good time when he wants to go look around. That's like, I'm sorry. Those two things, they do not compute for me. And even Marty's like, okay, I don't get it. Like, what's going on? He says, look. He goes, I thought this had something to do with my kids. He goes, look what happens to your son. And here's, I was going to say, not quite, but here's another thing from part 2. An old-fashioned paper newspaper. Like that, yes. My parents still get the paper. Our local paper doesn't even come every day anymore. They still get the paper. I feel like that generation still gets the paper. I remember when I first moved to... my wife and I moved to Florida like 20 years ago. And when we got there, I was like, I want to get the local newspaper. I was like, I want to feel part of, I want to know what's going on in the local news. And this is how I'll do it. And we got it. And I used to look at it. And then a week went by, 2 weeks by. I'm like, I haven't looked at it. And then we used to get the newspaper, even like when we first got married, our local newspaper. Why? Why did I get I felt like you got the paper every day because at the time, that's what you did. You got the paper. That's how, okay, you move into a house, you get the newspaper subscription. That's how you get the news. It's funny. I haven't looked at a regular, daily newspaper. I look online, and our town has a free, community newspaper. Talks about all the fun things going on, in town and events and local things. And it's a free advertising, generated ad, supported newspaper. That I like looking at. It comes out once a month. Anything else, I just look on my phone or my computer. And have been doing that for a long time. Never mind all the, 2015 now, but even in 2015, yes, I think the last time I really enjoyed the newspapers when I used to take the train to Boston every day. Someone would stay by the train station and hand out free issues of the daily Boston Herald. And I was like, cool, I can put my headphones on and I can listen, I can read the paper and know what's going on in the world. Again, that was before smartphones changed everything. You thought internet and computers changed everything. Now having the internet in your hand anywhere in the world at any time to bring up any news story, like this news story is already old. We're in the future and this news story is already old. But this is 2015 through the eyes of 1989. So yes, they might have seen the idea of, laser discs and CDs, are a thing of the past, but they didn't quite grasp newspapers and payphones. And again, I don't think we see anyone holding any device. Star Trek got the portable communicator device. Back to the Future 2, I don't think we see anything with that. But I do like seeing this USA Today paper, the Hill Valley edition. Washington prepares for Queen Diana's visit. Ooh, that's a sad one. Slam ball playoffs begin. Cubs sweep series in 5. So you see later Cubs win the series over Miami. Well, guess what? It was already spoiled right here in the newspaper. The Nation's newspaper. Marshall runs 3-minute mile. Isn't the 7-minute or 6-minute mile like the crazy thing? Something bandit strike, something lead falling litter, stocks up, Swiss terrorist threat, shredding for charity. President says she's tired. That's fun. Again, Queen Diana. And I think that's everything we see on this, what we see in the paper. Youth jailed. Martin McFly. This is on the USA Today. Now, here's another thing. This is the Nation's newspaper. It does say Hill Valley Edition in the corner. So my guess is, like, did USA Today have local editions? I don't think so. I thought it was just, basically the cool thing with the USA Today was it was in color and it was a national newspaper. So they must have got some sort of deal to have them use their paper in the movie, because why would a Hill Valley youth be on the cover of USA Today? It does say Hill Valley Edition though in the corner, so I guess that's the way. I never thought of this. Why isn't it just a Hill Valley newspaper? That doesn't make any sense to me. But okay, Martin McFly Jr. arrested for theft. Would it say junior? Yeah, I guess it would say junior. And it says youth gang denies complicity. So Martin obviously was part of some gang who then are leaving him hung out to dry. And he's wearing the exact same outfit that we saw him in, when Doc was spying on him, and the exact same outfit that Marty has on now. And there's 2 female cops. I wonder if these are the same. I think, there's definitely one female cop. I think there's 2. Are these the same 2 women that we see later? I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it seems like maybe we see them again. Maybe they're just like, well, we have cops. Let's just use you guys again. So Marty sees it. He goes, oh, God, he looks just like me. And it says, within 2 hours of his arrest, Martin McFly Jr. was tried, convicted, and sentenced to 15 years in the state penitentiary. Within 2 hours? Now, first of all, I guess we don't know what he does. It's just theft. Okay. We don't know what theft. So that 15 years, I suppose. But Doc says the justice system works swiftly in the future now that they've abolished all lawyers. Then Marty says this is heavy, and Doc says, oh, it gets worse. Next week, your daughter attempts, and that's where it gets cut off. So we don't know what his daughter attempts, but we know, and now Marty knows, that he has a daughter. And I guess we knew already because of the trailer where it's like Michael J. Fox and Michael J. Fox. And Michael J. Fox as a lady. Hello, Mom. Remember, like he leans over. Mom, is that you? And I can say that because that was in the trailer of day 1. So we've already you've already heard that. So see, I'm not breaking the rules. I'm trying very much not to talk about what comes next. Just kind of focus on these moments. But there are things that happen in these moments that so affect what happens, in the future, that it's almost like I can't not avoid it, but I'm trying to just focus on this. But again, remember this for the days to come, for the weeks to come. None of this is necessary if they just left Jennifer in the car. Okay, they couldn't leave her at home. That ship has sailed. That sailed back in 1985 when Claudia Wells got into the car and they drove off. They flew off, I should say. There's no going back from that. But now that you have the Jennifer conundrum, there had to have been a better way for... Well, here's the thing. Well, then what's the story going to be? I don't know. Make a better story. Make a story where they don't have to go to Jennifer's, to the McFly household, leave the car unaccompanied, and then which leads to, what happens. But again, I don't want to get ahead of things. I just want to, and I'm breaking my own rules, and I might have to suffer the consequences of, well, there are no consequences, but, of just being very angry at myself. But again, just think about it if Jennifer is left in the car. Just think about that. And when you realize that, hopefully it frustrates you as much as it frustrates me. And if it doesn't frustrate you, then you're probably a normal, well-adjusted adult. But if it does frustrate you, then you're a big movie nerd like me. And boom, that's what we're looking for here in Marchy McFly. But I think we're done. I think we nailed it for today. I think I've covered these 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and I'm looking forward to doing it again tomorrow. Now, I don't know. I might do it early in the morning. I'm not entirely sure yet. Just kind of thinking of schedule and other things I have. Like sometimes I have things going on. Sometimes. So I'll either be doing this late at night, which might happen anyway, or I'll be doing it early in the morning. Either way, no matter what happens, there will be a day 4. There will be another episode coming tomorrow. But until then, my friends, you can follow me on social media. Did you know that? I'm on all the socials at Geek Mentality. Even Blue Sky is the one I use the most. Blue Sky, what is it? Geek Mentality. If you just search Geek Mentality on Blue Sky, you can find me. Geek Mentality Mike, but the username is Geek Mentality. And that's on Instagram, Mastodon, Twitter, even though I don't do it anymore. I still have the username there. Threads, I'm trying to use that more. And on TikTok, someone took Geek Mentality, the son of a bee. But I am Geek Mentality Mike on TikTok. The Facebook page is Fans Not Experts. The YouTube channel is Fans Not Experts. And that's because the website is fansnotexperts.com. Did you know that? I think you did. And you can go to fansnotexperts.com/McFly to see all the episodes of Marchy McFly. But if just Fans Not Experts, that shows you every podcast that I have going on. Many of them I need to get back to. I need to get back in action with some of these little projects that I've taken way too long to do new episodes for. But really, right now, the big focus is Marchy McFly. So I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you will be too. But until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is my theme song.
This is my podcast, I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.